How's it going, guys? Football-ManagerYouthDevelopment.co.uk here. Welcome back to the next episode of our Moneyball playthrough series with Charlton. Using the Moneyball approach, our aim is basically going to be to try and make as much money as possible. We're going to be doing this by trying to sign as many players that other clubs undervalue, trying to develop them as much as possible, and then hopefully trying to sell them on for a profit. One of the key things to be able to do this is just to make sure that we've got quite a decent scouting network up and running. So one of the things that I have been working on over the last few weeks is just making sure that I'm getting in quite a few different scouts just to help us find as many players as possible. In the last episode, I think I did show you that I ended up signing a scout who's got really good knowledge of France. At the moment, I have got him scouting out in France. What I'm basically looking for is any players who have quite decent potential ability from the ages of 20 to 23. At the moment, he's only actually managed to find about 5 players, but some of the players he has found are not too bad, to be honest. A little bit of a shame we don't have much money, but yeah, it's a pretty decent place, France, I think, just to have a look and just try and pick up some bargains. Obviously, if we did have a little bit of money, what we'd be looking for, guys, is just any players where they've got the squad status as backup, because these type of players you can actually pick up for really cheap. So currently in the bank we have about £1.5 million. This season we've made a profit of £1.7 million. Unfortunately, I do think it's just going to be plummeting pretty much like throughout most of the season. And I think our projected balance just become, you know, at the end of the season it's going to be pretty low, to be honest. So at the end of this financial year we're actually meant to have, well, we're pretty much going to be a loss of 2.75 million. So unfortunately, I do think the only way that I'm going to be able to make money, obviously, with Charlton at this kind of stage with them is just to try and sell some players on. Obviously, with the kind of Moneyball approach, it's just making sure that when you do sell players, you just need to sell them for the value that you think that they are worth. So obviously, every single player on Football Manager is going to have a set value that they are worth. And potentially, if you do get an offer in for a player that kind of meets their value or is just above their value, it could potentially be well worth accepting the offers. So in the last episode, we started the series with a game against QPR. That one was at home. We unfortunately lost that one 1-0. To be honest, I've actually been pretty impressed with the results that we've been getting since that first episode. Obviously, there was a little bit of a blip, unfortunately, in the Capital One Cup first round. We unfortunately lost that game on penalties at home to Oxford. Obviously, not particularly exactly impressed with that performance. I did make quite a number of changes to the team. But yeah, they just didn't particularly perform too well. We got a 1-1 draw away at Derby. We then beat Nottingham Forest 4-2, which was a fantastic result. We got a 1-1 draw at home against Hull, and in our latest game, we got a 3-0 win away against Wolves. So I just wanted to show you this really quick goal that we scored against Wolves, guys, just to show you the kind of shape that I'm looking to set up for this team. So one of the things that I've been trying to learn on Football Manager 2016 is just to try and get quite a few players into the box as quickly as possible. Obviously, we do know that the kind of wing areas at the moment, especially conceding goals from the wings, does seem to be a little bit of a kind of issue in Football Manager at the moment. So I have been working on tactics to try and make sure that I'm not conceding too many goals from crosses. But yeah, just to show you this goal that we scored. So what you can see here, we're actually playing in white. So we've got 7 players who are pretty far forward. We've got our fullback Browning, who is really high. He's actually pretty much in line with our right winger here. So yeah, if I press play, so the aim basically is just to try and get the ball forward as quickly as possible. Obviously trying to keep a little bit of width with our fullbacks. You know, if Fox does manage to kind of break forward, he's got a hell of a lot of room to move into here. What's basically going to happen with this goal, because of the position of Browning, he's actually, you know, in a position to get a cross in from this area. But you can see we've got 1, 2, 3. We've got 4 players who are already in the box, and you know, at the moment, Wolves have actually only got 5 players in the box at the moment as well. So in terms of numbers, we're actually doing pretty well. You can see here that we've got Tunnicliffe just on the edge of the box as well, waiting just if the ball does come out. So Browning does actually manage to get his cross in. And the fact that we've got loads and loads of players in the box, it's just basically giving us an opportunity just to pick up any loose balls that might be happening. So Their goalkeeper basically ended up making a save, and then we managed to get the rebound. But in terms of like numbers and, you know, sort of shape and things like that, that's exactly what we're trying to do with this tactic. We're trying to make sure that our fullbacks are getting as far forward as possible, and we're also just trying to make sure that we've got as many bodies in the boxes as well, just to make sure that we, you know, there's people around basically just to try and stick the ball in the back of the net. Okay then, so before we go into this home game at, well, we're playing against Rotherham today, I just thought I'd show you the average rating. I know it's quite early doors in the season so far, but some of the players have actually been playing really, really well. So we've got Johnny Jackson, who is 33 years old. He has managed to bag himself 2 goals and 1 assist in 3 starts. Just recently I managed to get Ryan Tunnicliffe on loan from, I think it's from Fulham, no, from Blackburn. Yeah, managed to get him on loan. Oh, he is actually from Fulham, yeah. He was just on loan at Blackburn last season. So yeah, we've managed to bring in Ryan Tunnicliffe. Again, although he's only on loan, he is just in the kind of mould of player that I'm looking for. So between the ages of 20 and 23 years old. We've also got Jordan Cousins, who's been playing really, really well as well. To be honest, I'm very, very happy with his progression. You can see the amount of green arrows that he's got flying around everywhere. Average rating of 8.04 after 5 starts in the Premier League. He's managed to get 2 Man of the Match awards as well. To be honest, this player is exactly, if I basically had to try and pick a player that, like a youth player that I would be looking to sign, this guy is absolutely perfect. So you can see he's got fantastic work rate. He's got really, really good determination. He's got really, well, his personality is resolute. He's got media description of tireless midfielder. So potentially his technical attributes aren't exactly, you know, kind of world beating, but you just basically have to look at his mental attributes and his physical attributes just to see how good this guy is. And the fact that he's, you know, really, really young still. You know, he has got that good work rate, and, you know, he's got that decent personality. Players like this, they will always improve. If you can find players with a decent personality, who have got good determination, you know, like good work rate, things like that, then they are going to improve really, really quickly. And most of the time they will play pretty well for you as well. So the starting lineup for today's game, we've gone for Nick Pope in goal, Titus Browning, Naby Sarr, Patrick Bayer, Fox, Kashi, Jackson, Cousins, Johan, Bergdich and George up front. So in terms of tactics, guys, what I've been basically doing is I've been using Cousins and Jackson. They're both on the centre midfield role, just with the attack duty. So the attack duty will basically mean, like I showed you just a little while ago, that they will be breaking into the box just to making up the numbers. In terms of team instructions, what I've been doing is going for a lower tempo just to make sure that we're kind of keeping hold of the ball. We are trying to get the ball down the flanks as quickly as possible, and what we're also doing is just closing the opposition down just to make sure that they're not allowed too much time on the ball as well. Okay, so potentially first 6 minutes we got a potential chance here of there being a goal scoring opportunity. So Cousins picks up the ball, chucks it out wide to Gamarson. Maguire picks up the ball in the middle. We luckily do pick up the ball. We probably do need to get it out wide if we can, which Bauer does, luckily for us. Fox in the middle to George, and Cousins is there to finish it off. So again, you can see how many players I have got in the middle of the box. Yeah, sort of like in the box there, guys. So we're just going to see a highlight in 3D. The thing I like about having my centre midfielders on the attack duty, you can see Jackson and Cousins here. So they're just pretty much just breaking their necks just to try and get into the box here. So they, you know, they don't think about holding their run. If you have basically your centre midfielders on like the support duty, then potentially they might be hanging around here, which would probably only leave George just in the middle, sort of like on his own basically. Bergdich is obviously making his run into the middle as well. We'll continue here. So yeah, Fox with the ball across. George just whacks it across to Cousins, who's just got an empty net to pass it into. So 1-0 to Charlton here, which I'm really, really happy about so far. So we got a chance here potentially for Rotherham. Pope picks up the loose ball, kicks it downfield. Derbyshire on his own. Really, really good save from our goalkeeper. So in the first 20 minutes, we've had 61% possession. We've had 5 shots and 2 of which have been on target. Okay then, guys. So yeah, 1-0 at half time. So pretty happy with that first half display. So yeah, I'll just say that I'm happy with their performance so far. In terms of average rating, I'm not exactly happy, but you know, 1-0 up at home, you can't exactly complain. I am also going to tell the players that I have got faith in them as well. So obviously, if you do tell the players that you've got faith in them, that's a really, really good way just to boost their morale. So obviously at halftime, this is exactly what you want to be sort of achieving. In terms of stats so far, so we have had 13 shots, 7 of which have been on target. We've actually only managed to carve out one clear-cut chance. We've had 57% of the possession, which has been pretty good as well. So let's crack on with the second half. Hopefully there'll be a couple more chances in the second half and hopefully a few more goals as well. So just at the start of the second half here, we've got Fox moving with the ball forward. Yeah, another simple goal, to be honest, guys. So our tactic of basically overloading the box, especially when we do get the ball here. So we're just going to have a look at this in the pro zone sort of camera angle. I made a video recently, guys, where I was sort of saying the best camera angles just to have a look at tactics and things like that. I'm absolutely loving the pro zone camera angle at the moment. Definitely my favourite camera angle at the moment. So you will click play here. So Bergdich, simple ball in the middle. Cousins picks up the loose ball, gives himself a lot of time in the middle, and George is there just to smack that into the back of the net. So it is now 2-0 to Charlton. Really, really happy, of course, with the way this is going. And we're not giving Rotherham hardly any chances here. All the chances that they are having there probably from quite a way out. So they're not exactly being able to kind of do too much here. Just going to make sure that I'm actually encouraging the players as well, just to make sure that they're, you know, still playing really, really well and things like that. I'm going to probably wait to about the 75th minute, I reckon, and then just make a real quick change. So, okay, let's make a real quick substitution. So, just going to sort it by condition, just so have a real quick look at who we might want to look at changing here. So, Gumarson's pretty knackered at the moment. I'm not going to pronounce this guy's last name, so yeah, I'll just call him Reza, but he can come on just for the last like 15 minutes of the game. So potentially another chance here coming up. So Buxton with the ball in the middle. We hopefully are going to manage to clear this. The ball comes out again to Buxton. So unfortunately, Rotherham have managed to pull a goal back here. Hopefully it won't mean that they do go on to get anything from this game. But yeah, Buxton, I'm not really sure what our goalkeeper Pope was doing there. A little bit of a David Seaman, just flapping his arms around, you know, that game against Brazil quite some years ago. But what I am going to do, guys, so we're going to be dribbling less, we're going to go for short passing, and we're going to be more disciplined as well. That should hopefully enable us just to kind of see this game out, basically. So I've got the players on quite a structured formation at the moment. Hopefully with that should be enough to enable us to see out this game. Obviously I'm going to be probably making another substitution as well, just to waste a little bit more time as well. So potential chance here. Rotherham have actually had a man sent off just recently, just within the last few minutes here, but Bauer picks up the ball, passes it through to George. Hopefully we might be able to counter-attack here. So Reza with the ball on the right, and the ball does go in. It's George with his 5th goal of the season, which I'm really, really happy about. So we do manage to catch Rotherham on the counter-attack by the looks of things. So Cousins, really, really nice ball over the top. You can see that Rotherham are just absolutely all over the place here. They've got 3 players pretty much all marking themselves in the middle. Yeah, so Reza gets the ball down the right-hand side. Nice early cross into the middle. And George manages, I don't know what he hit that with, potentially his head, but yeah, he manages to get that into the back of the net, and I'm really happy with this result, guys. So I'll just keep recording just to see out this game now. So Fox, ball down the wing. Fox potentially might be able to get a 4th goal, which would be lovely to finish that off. Derbyshire picks up the loose ball onto Bowery for Rotherham. Okay, so the ball's come out wide to Smallwood, who crosses the ball, and Pope picks that up in the middle of his goal. I do think it's just going to finish 3-1 here, but really happy with the result and the way that we have played. So it has finished 3-1 here. We managed to carve out a hell of a lot of really good chances as well in this game, which is obviously really, really pleasing. So in terms of the match stats, we managed to have 19 shots, 9 of which were on target. And we managed to create 2 clear-cut chances. Yeah, really, really happy. So in terms of sort of average ratings and things like that, so George managed to bag himself a couple of goals and assists. Jordan Cousins, who I highlighted at the beginning of this episode, managed to get an assist and a goal. And yeah, everyone else did pretty well as well. So really happy with the way this is going so far, guys. So I am going to call this the end of the episode. I hope you have liked this episode. If you have, please do drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and of course leave your comments below, and we'll be back very, very soon to continue on with this series. Thanks for watching.